Yes, ma'am. Naveen, can you share your screen?
Yes, already shared. Yeah, are you okay up to previous session, everyone, in all the ways? If you have any queries, please let me know immediately. Hope everyone okay.
Hi, Naveen.
Yeah, any queries, Rajesh, up to last session?
No, I have just run and trained like your program. I have just run one program, but it's not executing. Can you check it once?
Yes, 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 sure. I'm making you as presenter.
Uh, yeah,
Please
do
share
that.
your screen.
So I'm here, right?
Yes, yes. Please share your screen.
How can I do that? Still you are present.
One second.
Hello?
Yes, yes. One second, Rajesh. I am making you as presenter.
Go ahead.
To share the screen. Yes. Share your screen, Rajesh.
Can you see my window here?
Yes, yes, yes. I can.
Yeah, this is the one which tried with student number.
I did like still it is showing go to meeting page.
Okay. I've got the sharing. I'm sharing one. I don't know why it's not working with me.
Yeah, now I'm able to see your program. Like student details you wrote.
Oh, you're seeing? Okay.
Student details. Like
Yeah.
some delay, I think so.
Yes. So what's the problem then?
That is like a screen between voice and screen sometimes little bit delay in go to meeting.
Okay. Now can you see it?
Yes, like you open this go to meeting page right now. Yeah, yeah, now I can able to see.
How come it's not happening?
Now
One
I
second.
can able to see now.
You can see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
again you opened some other.
Good to see you now.
One second, one second. Yes, just maximize that window program window. Yes, I can able to see now clearly. String std envoy equal to 12 you gave. String std name you gave something. String std school you gave something. Wired get student info. Yes, you have done a big mistake here, Rajesh. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Rajesh, you have done a big mistake here. System.out.println instead of in system S is capital, right? System is the predefined
Okay.
class. S is the capital.
Okay. Well, yes should be capital while remaining is small, right?
Yeah, print ln.
Mm-hmm.
stdno it is showing. Okay, std name, std
So that's the
school,
same, right? I've given.
std school. Yeah, other than that everything same. Now you try once. Somewhere you missed semicolon. Open your program.
Oh, this is yours now.
Yeah,
Okay.
at line number 6.
The-
Yeah, the problem is where you closed that student details class you opened braces, but you didn't place the closed brace for class, for first class, for first
Here
class.
it is.
No, the you have to
So for
mention.
this,
Yeah, there you have to mention.
okay, got it.
And second one for public
Can I run
static.
it now?
Yeah, that is good. And for public static void admin string errors, you didn't open the brace for main method.
Here it is.
Where you opened the brace, you
So
closed the
down here.
brace. Yeah, and for main method also you have to open the brace. Yeah, that's it. Yes.
So now what we need to do? Just save it now.
Yeah, you just save it.
Gonna- Still shows 12 errors.
Naveen, is it necessary to write import java.lang data star?
No, no, that is not a mandatory thing. If you don't import also, JVM imports java.lang package automatically. Only java.lang package, not others. What happened, Rajesh?
Oh, it still shows errors.
No, you didn't save it perfectly, I think so.
What's that?
And here class student info C you maintain capital. Class student info.
Okay.
Class
Yeah, I
is
got
a
it.
class is a keyword, right? That has to be small.
Here in one, we have just opened.
You
Yeah,
just,
here I've opened it, and again I've closed it here.
other than that
In
everything good.
main method, I've opened here and closed it here.
Yeah, that is good. That is good.
Let's see final time.
Yes. And you have to do with the edit plus at least. That will show you like what are the various errors. In notepad you don't know
Okay,
keywords
still it
only.
shows errors. Okay.
You just try one more time, like you have to compile one more time. Go with JavaC command.
Actually, I'm getting 8 more errors.
No, no, no. Go with the again. Give the same command JavaC, like student info.java.
Yeah, it's the same file.
So I can't
Which
able
one?
to see your like whatever you are trying to. Close your entire program once. Close your program like
Okay.
whatever you developed. Have you closed?
That's closed.
Yeah. Open.
Yeah.
Reopen that. Reopen that once.
Yeah, open.
Reopen, right? Student.
Mm-hmm. So I need to call this one only, right? The this one.
Class student info, not student details.
So I need to call student info the main
You
class,
have
right?
to you have to save your program with student info.java
So there's a mistake.
because you have to save with main class name. I said right. What you are doing? You are trying with student
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
details.
then I'll just ignore it.
Yeah, you just check once.
Yeah, that's clear showing error. Okay, I'll do it later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, other than that, everything good. I hope. Yes, everything good other than that.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay. You just try with any edit plus or something else. Any editors you just maintain.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Rajesh, make me presenter.
I should do it. Okay.
Okay, I hold on. Yes. One more time, like class recording class. I'm going to talk one more time. Class is a container in Java. It having various variables, methods, blocks, everything. Everything whatever you want to write, that will be you're going to write inside a class only. In real time, we are going to deal with thousands of classes. Each and every business logic we are going to separate with a separate class in real time. Like we can't able to give the exact figure how many classes available in the respective enterprise application. As a enterprise application was developed under Java technology, we don't know the figure how many class files are available. Thousands of Java files we are going to maintain. Thousands of class files we are going to maintain in real time. Okay. Yes, this is the class syntax. Access modifier list, class name, and access modifier list. You people already aware, like various access modifiers in Java: private, default, protected, and public. What is private? What is default? What is protected? What is public? You people already know. And this class is there. That is a keyword. Keywords means those are fixed.
Well, Naveen, your voice is breaking.
My voice.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, your voice is breaking.
1 second.
Hello.
Yeah, Rajesh. Yes, it's clear now.
Yeah, it's better now.
Yes. Yes. This class is the red. This class is a keyword. Keyword means those are fixed, Rajesh. Keywords in the sense we have to write whatever they
Yeah,
give.
got
Those
it.
are fixed kind of thing. Like class is a keyword. Previously you wrote C as capital. That's why it is showing error. Class means keyword means you have to write according to keyword syntax only. Like whatever they gave the name for keyword, same name you have to mention in your program as well. Everything will be case sensitive. Hope you got my point. That's all about class, and I gave you a beautiful example on class in my last session, right? Yes, and today I'm going to talk something about method, like method. Yes, yes. What is the importance of this method? Very simple. In Java application, we will provide methods inside the classes. Inside the classes, you people already aware this. Okay, inside classes to represent some actions, to represent some actions like I want to check my PIN number while I'm entering into ATM. Like I am going to ATM and I will insert my debit card. After that, I will give my PIN number, right? So the PIN number you have to validate. So that is a action. That PIN number validating is a action. So what I mean to say was, for each and every action, whatever you are trying to do in Java, you are going to represent in the form of a method. Here you just observe in my previous example, class example.
Naveen,
Hello,
your voice
1 second. Hello. Hello.
Hello, hi Naveen.
Yeah, it's clear now. Actually, some power cut. I don't.
Yeah, now it's clear. Yeah, okay, okay. Now it's clear. So
Yes.
Naveen,
Yes, Sandeep.
so access modifiers also user defined, right?
Axis modifiers are predefined.
Okay. So means what I'm saying is, so if I want to use private public, so can I write instead of before the class name, right?
Yes, yes,
Before
yes.
the class.
Yeah. That
So that
totally that
okay.
total depends on you. Whatever you want to take, you can.
So that's why. So that is user defined, right?
Yeah. Like based on
That's
your
why I'm
scenario,
asking.
if you want to restrict your class members outside the class, then you can take as private access modifier for your class.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
So that totally.
But you said yesterday private and then protected is we're using in methods, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
So we don't use in the
For,
class.
for methods I am saying, for methods only I am saying, for class protected and private is not eligible.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. That private and protected are eligible for inner classes. What is inner classes? We'll tell you later. Like class inside a class is called as inner class. For inner
Okay.
classes,
Okay.
those will be eligible. But for normal
Oh,
class,
okay.
only default and public are eligible.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, Naveen.
Okay, if you
Okay, I
want to
understand.
make your
Okay.
class, class members available throughout your application, then take your class as public class.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And if you want to restrict for the respective package only, then take default as the access modifier for your particular class. That totally depends on your scenario.
So okay. Okay. Okay, Naveen. I understand.
Yes, I'm talking about
And
method, right?
Naveen, I have a question.
Yes,
While using the class declaration, we cannot use private and protection, right? It only accepts public and
default.
default, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Sandeep saying someone using private and this one also protection.
Private and
Can we
protect.
use that one?
No, private and protected for class, it doesn't accept private and protected. If you try with example,
So
it shows you error. I will try once.
those are we can use only in main class, right?
Those are eligible for methods only. That's what I said.
Yeah, methods.
Methods. And
Yeah.
methods as well as inner classes concept is there. For inner classes, it will be eligible. Normal classes, it's not
Okay.
eligible. Inner classes in the sense, inside
Okay.
a class, we are going to write another class inside a class.
Okay.
For inner classes, this protected and private will be eligible. For normal
Okay.
classes, it's not eligible.
Okay. Okay. No, thanks.
Okay, clear? I don't know. Actually, here no power, but still I am getting my network. I'm getting my internet. How it's coming actually? Yes, I'm talking about method, right? Yes, method is in Java.
Your screen is not sharing. I mean,
Yes, 1 second. Yes, in Java, methods will be useful to represent an action. And in single class we can able to maintain any number of methods. That totally depends on you. Like I have a business logic. That credit card validation business logic is there. That business logic I want to separate with separate class. I have taken a separate class. Rajesh, 1 second, I'm getting a call from Gopi.
okay, carry on.
I think he has some interview, I think so. 1 second. Yeah, Gopi. Yeah, Gopi. ఇది క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను గోపి ప్రజెంట్. Yes. In real time, we are going to deal with multiple methods inside a single class. For suppose, I am separating my credit card validations regarding business logic into a separate class. Inside that, I have some various actions I want to represent, like taking the credit card number. After that, I want to check with the credit card was available in my database or not, whatever they gave. Credit card was available in my database or not. I want to check that. For that purpose, I'm going to maintain a separate method when interacting with the database, all these things. Like each and every action I'm going to represent in a separate method. The main usage of method was to represent an action. And one more thing, you went to your ATM, like you inserted your debit card. After that, you are giving your PIN number, right? Whenever you gave your PIN number, that PIN number has to be validated. Okay, so that is a action actually. That pin number validation is an action. So to represent that action at Java end, we are going to maintain a method like pin check method. That method is accepting pin number. After that, it is interacting with the database whether the pin number was correct or not respective to that debit card. And if it is success, it will return success. If it is failure, it returns failure as the result. Based on that, at front end you are going to get, if it is a success, then it will allow you to take the to do the transactions and to take the money or to deposit the money, whatever it may be. If it is failure, it shows you the error like entered pin number was wrong, please try one more time. Like it's going to happen right in real time. Those all are we are going to represent in the form of a method. Each and every action we are representing in the form of a method only in real time. Like you don't know the how many number of methods we are going to maintain, like multiple methods we are going to maintain in a single class. That totally depends on your business logic and your requirements. Yes, that is about method. It's totally the main usage of method was to represent an action. The respective syntax to create a method was very simple, like as usual, like class access modifier list, access modifier list. Everyone got the importance of method first? Hello? The
Naveen.
importance, yeah, everyone got it right? The importance of method in real time. Like each and every action we are going to represent in the form of method only. Actually, friends, what I mean to say was class is just like a container. Class is just like a container. It's having multiple methods, variables, everything. So inside a class, we are going to write multiple methods, right? What I mean to say was actual business logic, we are not writing inside the class. We are writing inside the method, but that method was available inside the class. That's why we are saying like, class is having business logic, all these things. Actual business logic, we are not writing inside the class. We are writing inside the method, but that method was available inside the class. That is the scenario. Each and every business logic we are going to write inside the method only. That method was available in class, as class is a container. Yes, access modifier list and the return type. return type and any method name and parameter list. Each and everything will explain clearly. No worries. Parameter list. Parameter list and throws exception if any exception, but it is no need. You people are going to confuse. We'll introduce that while I'm talking about exception handling. Business logic. Yes. Yes. This is the syntax. This is the syntax to create a method. The first one is access modifier list, and the second one was return type and method name and parameter list and open braces and closed braces business logic. Yes, friends. What is access modifier list? Please, anybody. What is access modifier list? And what?
Public and default.
Yes. What is the main usage of access
Yeah,
modifier list?
main usage.
What is the main usage of this access modifier list in Java technology?
Yeah, it's like we
Like,
can figure.
like to provide the scope for your particular class or method, it will be useful, I hope.
Yes.
Am I right? Like, it has to be accessible up to this range and it has to be accessible throughout the application like that. If you want to mention any boundaries or scope for your particular method or class, this access modifier list will be useful. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. What are the various access modifiers available in Java?
Public, default, private, protection.
Yeah, protected. Out of
Yeah, protected.
what is public, what is default, all these things you people know already, right? Yes.
Yes.
For method also same access modifiers, but for method, this method will accept all four access modifiers. No restrictions for method. Method will accept any access modifier. Okay, that is my first point. My first point. Method will accept all access modifiers. Okay, that is my first point. And second one, return type. Return type I mentioned, right? What is the meaning of this return type? For suppose my pin check method is there. Okay, pin check method what is doing? Just for example, what is doing? It is taking your pin number. It is validating your pin number. If it is correct, it is returning success as output. If it is failure, if the pin number you gave was wrong, it gives you the it returns failure as the result. That means every method is giving some result, right? after
Yes.
after doing business logic, after validating everything, every action gives some result, right? Every action has to give some results, right? So
Yes.
what is the type of that result we have to mention? For suppose if I am returning result in the form of a string, here you have to mention return type as string. Okay.
Yes.
And if you are returning any integer value as if you are returning any integer value after execution of your method, you have to mention integer. And for suppose
Yes.
my method is not returning anything, it's just
Void.
doing some business logic, it's not returning anything. In that case we have to mention void as the return type. That is the meaning of return type. Hope you people got my point.
Yes.
Yes. Return type indicates what type of result this method is returning. H is not working in my keyboard. This method is returning. Okay, for suppose if I am returning string as the if I am returning string as the data from my method, then you have to write like this: public string any method name. For suppose m1 is my method name, and it has to return only string data. Return success, like this. Like this. Like here I am returning the string type of data as output. So definitely you have to maintain here string as the return type. Okay. For suppose if I am returning here integer type of data, return 0. I am returning integer data, then you have to maintain here int. For suppose I am not returning anything here, I will just put comment. I don't want to return any value, then you just take void as the return type. So that is the meaning of return type. Okay. And third one, method name is there, right? Method name is totally user defined. Whatever you want to take the name for your particular method, you can. No restrictions or no boundaries for method name. Whatever you want to take the name, you just take. But in real time people are following one standard. In real time people are following one standard. What is that standard? You are representing that action, right? You know that what you are developing related to that particular method. This method is for pin checking, pin validating, and this method is for updating your pin number to new pin number. Like the functionality of that particular method, right, while developing. So based on that functionality you just give the alternate the respective name for your method. Like if somebody came to your code and he is referring your entire code, by seeing your method name he has to understood like, yes, this method is for this purpose. If you give pin check as method name for your method, he goes to your code, whenever he check like pin check, whenever he finds pin check, immediately he knows that, yeah, this method is for pin checking purpose. Like that, whatever the name you are trying to give, that has to be understandable by each and every developer, like your co-developers. Like that you have to give as method names. That is the real-time scenario. Method name is user defined. And fourth one, here parameter list I maintain instead of brackets, instead of my method brackets. That parameter list indicates if your method is if your method is it wants any input parameters, like input data from any other method, or from user, from front end user. If your method is if your method wants any input data, that you have to mention inside the parameter list. For suppose my pin check method wants pin number as the input, because without pin number how I am going to validate my pin number? First you need your pin number, right, to validate your pin number. That is the input data I want for the pin check method. So that input data you have to mention inside the parameter list. If your method is uh, if your method wants any input data, that you have to mention inside the parameters list. For suppose here I am going to write parameter list indicates input data for your method. Okay. For suppose here I am writing public string pin check Here I have a business logic to check my PIN number by interacting with database. Business logic. Friends, tell me, inside this business logic, if I want to check my PIN number, first it has to know your PIN number, right? Whatever you have given at front end. Am I right or not? Whatever you have given at front end, that PIN number, first you have to know, right? Here, you have to get that PIN number, right? Am I right or not?
Yes, Naveen.
So that PIN number you have to maintain here in PIN number. So whenever this pin check method was called, it is like it wants some pin number as the input data. So whatever you gave front end, some pin number you are giving, right? That pin number comes to here. This method was called with this pin number value. So this pin number value I'm going to get here and I'm going to validate by interacting with the database. So that means what is the importance of this parameter? What is the importance of this parameter list? What is the importance of that parameter list?
So if you want to give any inputs for checking, so we need to give that one pin number
If you
for
want to
matching.
give any input data for your method, in the form of parameter list, we are going to give the input data.
Yes.
Got it? Got it, right? Yes. So that's all about method syntax. We'll give a small example, then you are going to get good idea. Okay. The same pin check method I am going to give. The first two or another 2 or 3 sessions will go like this only. We'll go a little bit slowly, and we'll stress, we'll give each and everything, very briefly, and I will stress more and more on each and every concept up to another 2 to 3 sessions, because you people are first to this particular Java technology, right? Very new to this Java technology, so you don't know anything. So first I will make you like comfortable for this Java technology. So that's why I'm stressing more and more.
Okay, Naveen.
This is a pin. This is a method example. The purpose of this method was validating the method, or yes, validating the method, validating the pin, sorry, validating the pin number. Okay, I'm going to take my own class for suppose debit card check. Debit card check is my class name. Inside this I'm going to take my method. So tell me, what is the syntax to write a method? What is first one?
Right.
Sorry?
Access modifier.
So access modifier list. I can able to take any access modifier list instead inside, like out of 4. I am taking public as access modifier. Public, and what is the next thing?
It's the return type.
Return type. Here pin check method is taking your pin number, it is validating your pin number, finally it is returning something, right? Whether it is success or failure. It is returning something, right? Whether success or failure. So what I have to take? Return type.
Integer?
If you want to return integer data, you can take integer, but I want to return some string data. So what I have to take? I want to return some string data, like if your pin number was okay, if your pin number was correct, I want to return success. If your pin number was not okay, I want to return failure. So in that case, what I have to take the return type?
String.
String. Yes, good. I have taken string as the return type. And then
Method name.
method name. For suppose method name I am taking pin check. because I am checking my pin number. So the name itself clearly indicating.
Yes.
Like that you have to take the method names in real time as well. The purpose it has to indicate
Yes.
clearly. The name itself clearly indicates the purpose of that method. Like that you have to take. That is the real time scenario. If I take any other name, how other people knows that this method is for this purpose? It's very typical to understand, right?
Yes.
And it is acts like it wants some input data. This pin check method, what is that
Param.
pin number it wants, right? Pin number will be in the form of integer, so I have to take integer as
Integer
the data type. Pin number.
and number.
Pin number. Okay, inside this I am writing some business logic. If here I'm not interacting with any database, all these things, because I'm giving a normal program, like I'm writing a normal code, like some static code I'm writing. Instead of interacting with the database and checking pin number by interacting with the database, I'm not going to do all these things. I'm just
Okay.
writing some static business logic. If pin number equal
Is
to if pin number equal to 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, I'm returning success.
returns.
Return success. success. Okay. Else I'm returning failure.
Return failure.
Yes. Else I'm returning failure. Return failure. I want to know, whether it goes to if loop or else loop. So I'm printing some system.out.println. System.out.println. Pin check if loop, if condition. Okay, same thing. Some system, some SOP I wrote for debugging purpose, whether it is going to if or else. I want to show you that else condition. Okay, yes, that's all about this pin check method, and the entire business logic I wrote, everything was perfect. Now what I have to write? My debit card check class was completed. Now what I have to write?
Main class.
Main class. So I am taking a main class. Main class name I am taking method example. Method example. So I have to write my main method, right? What is the main method? Public
Public.
static void main string array args. String array args. This is also a method. This main also a method. Public is the access modifier. What is the static? Will let you know very soon. I have to take another full session for this static. And void is the return type, and main is the method name. These are input parameters. We are following, the syntax whatever they followed for main method, the same thing syntax we are following for our methods as well. Okay, so I want to call this pin check method. So what I need to do? I want to call this pin check method. So what I need to do for
We
this
need to
class?
create object for pin check.
No, I have to create object for debit card check class.
Yeah.
For class we can able to create object for not for method. DC equal to
New
new
dot.
new debit card check. Okay, DC dot pin check method. Pin check method. But this pin check method is expecting some input data. What is that input data? I called that pin check method, but this pin check method is expecting some input data. What is that input data?
It's 0, 1, 2, 3.
Any value, whatever you want to give, you can. I am giving for suppose 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Any value, whatever you want to give, you can. So finally, after pin check method, it is returning some value, right? After
Yes.
validating it, it returns some value, right? That value I am picking in my string. my own string. String result equal to like this. So finally it is returning some value. That result value was available here. So I'm printing that result value. System dot out dot println. Result was plus result. So I have to save my program with what name?
Method example.
So I am saving this with method example.java. Okay. I'm going to command prompt cd space wherever you saved your program, that path you have to mention. Cd space, right click, paste, java c method example.java. Everything good? Previously Rajesh got some exceptions, right? Some errors because he has some, he made some, some syntax related errors, all these things. That's why he got some errors. But here I don't get any errors. Why? Because everything was perfect. If anything wrong, here itself it scolds you clearly. You are doing these many mistakes, like that it scolds you here itself at compilation time itself. Okay, here everything perfect. That's why we didn't get any errors. Java method example. Now tell me which output I am going to get. Anybody please? Anybody please? Which output I am going to get?
Failure.
Failure, like result was failure I am going to get.
Yes.
So what I mean to say was, first this method was called. Okay, it goes to this method. And what is this pin number value now? 45678. Pin number equal to 4560123. It's wrong. It's not going to this loop. It's going to else. So first it will be printed. Pin check in else condition will be printed. After that it returns failure. That return value I am getting here and I am printing that. So what I'm going to get was pin check in else condition I'm going to get. After that result was failure I'm going to get. Just observe. Pin check else condition, result was failure. What I expected I got or not? Hello?
Yes, no.
Any queries?
So to get this success, we just need to remove this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right?
Exactly. If I mention here 0, 1, 2, 3, you get here
It's a success.
I am passing
Condition.
this value manually, but in real time you are giving that pin number from debit card, from ATM, right? That you are going to get
Yeah, we are
dynamically.
giving the correct one. Yes, yeah, that we are going to give it.
Yes. Here I am passing manually. For suppose I am giving 0, 1, 2, 3. Now you are going to get success. Again you have to compile. Now you got success. Pin check if condition, result was success.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
That is the
Is
importance
it
of.
necessary to print?
Is it necessary to print?
Naveen,
Yeah.
print this one. Pin check else condition. Print check
No,
if condition.
that is for debugging purpose. I want to show you people like whether it goes to if condition or else condition. So for
Okay.
debugging
Is there any
purpose.
problem if you get any errors if you not write this one system dot out dot println print check if condition and your print check else condition?
Yeah.
Is it need to write this one?
No need, but for debugging purpose it will be useful. No need to write.
Okay.
Actually, I want to show you whether it goes to if condition or else condition, because you people don't know
Okay.
anything about methods, right? So I
Yes.
want to show you whether it goes to if condition or else condition.
Okay.
I wrote some.
Naveen, if we, for example, if we take off the string, what happens?
If I
So just run this one. If we take that string result is equal to dc dot pin check. So if we take off that, what happens then? If we don't give any manually, so what it's going to run? So if we
only
take off that,
if I remove this,
No, the complete the string result.
This one.
Yeah, the complete one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, string result. Yes.
Yeah, no need, no problem. Just method will be executed. That's it. It's you are not
If
going
we
to
don't give,
you are
so if you're
not
not
going.
giving any,
It will result some result, but you are not going to print it. When it will be printed, whenever you write inside the system.out.println.
yeah, my question is here when we like in the pin check, if we don't, if you're not giving anything manually also, so
Okay.
now in this program, what does it happens? It shows error or like it gives something else.
No, it's not going to throws any error.
Execute. Now
Yeah.
if you take up the 0, 1, 2, 3, make it blank.
Make it blank, you are going to get error because it is expecting
That's
some
what I'm
input
asking.
data, right?
Input in that. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So if we don't have that input, then it gives some error also, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So our previous example and this one, the difference is like here we are given some input parameters and there we didn't give anything.
Exactly.
It just done like that. So that's what where we are using is if else statement.
Exactly.
Got
Like
it.
if else we are regularly using in real time based on your
Okay. So the loops,
requirement.
right?
Sorry?
These are all loops, right?
Yes, loops,
If
conditional statements, conditional statements. If, else, else, if, all these are conditional statements. Loops are different. While, for, all these are loops. We'll introduce that loops very soon. While I'm talking about, collections framework, you people are going to get more and more knowledge about that.
yeah, got it. This I understand this logic here, yeah.
Yes.
But only I need to understand why this debit card check DC is equal to new debit card. Why we using that syntax? So once
This
we come
syntax,
across,
yes,
that's
yes.
clear.
We'll introduce this. This is object creation. This statement is related to object creation. So my
Yeah,
next topic was object only. How to create a object. What happens internally. I have done some research on that. That research part I'm going to share you.
great. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Regarding method, everyone okay, right?
Yes, Naveen.
Yes. Next, my topic.
Yes, Naveen.
Next my topic was object. Object. It's a very important concept. You people has to know more and more about this object. Because Java is an object-oriented programming language, everything we are going to represent in the form of objects only. Object. Yes. Yeah. In Java applications, the main requirement to create object is very simple. To store the data temporarily, the main requirement of object was, first I'm giving requirements, after that we'll give you the definition of object. The main requirement of object was to store data temporarily. First, give a small example. Print. Yes. What object, friends? Object means nothing great. It's a small memory location. That's it. It's a small memory location. Here, in my example, I have created an object for debit card check, right? That means for this debit card check, a small memory was allocated in memory. A small memory was allocated. Inside that memory, all this business logic, whatever you are taking variables. For suppose if you take any, here I am taking pin number as the variable name, right? Like it is it has some value. So that variables data, if you have any class level variables, all these things will be stored in this particular memory. So that memory is called as object. Nothing great. Object means a small memory location. Okay, how object will be created, what is the syntax to create object, will let you know very soon. For timing, you just know that object means it's a small memory location. So what is the importance to create a object? The first important you are going to get was this object. Using this object, you can able to store the data temporarily. So to store the data temporarily, this object was useful. And second one, to access the members of a particular class for which you have created object, this will be useful. To access the members of a class. Now tell me, in my previous example, I want to access this pin check method from this particular class. So what I have done, I have created object and I have called that. So that means to access this pin check member, I created object or not. So what is the importance of object here? To access the members of that particular class or not? What I mean to say, to access the members of any class, first you have to create the object for the respective class. Without creating object, you can't able to call, you know, that particular member from that particular class. If you want to access any member of the particular class, first you have to create the object for the respective class. Without creating object, you can't able to access the member. Here this class, this pin check is the member of this debit card check class. So to access this member, first I have to create the object for this particular debit card check class. So that's why I have created object and I am calling that particular member.
So the
Okay.
class name and object name should be same, right?
Class name, this is class name, this is also a class name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then we call it as an object, right? So the name of the class name and the object name should be same.
Object name is different, that I'm going to talk. Like, you know, I'm going to give some information about object that you are going to get it very soon.
No, in this example, what you're saying here, the class name is debit card check.
This part is not like called like a class. This is separate. This called like a constructor. We'll let you know very soon.
Okay.
Okay, this is a class name. This is a class name that is good. But this is not called like a class. This is a constructor.
So can we change it anytime? Like now can I change that? Or
No,
no, I should.
no, definitely you need to write like this only.
Okay.
If you change, it's going to throw you error.
So that's what, like I can just remember, like when the constructor also should have the same name like class.
Yeah, that
When we
I'm
create
going
an
to
object.
introduce while I'm talking about constructor and object information I didn't give, right? So I'm going to give all those rules, whatever the rules you have to follow. While creating object, you have to follow some rules. That means class name and the constructor name must be same. And at front, you have to take a class name. All these rules I'm going to give you. Got it, Rajesh? Hello? Hello?
No, Naveen.
Yeah, got it, Rajesh? What I mean to say?
Yes, Naveen.
Yes. So what I mean to say was, finally, to store the data temporarily and to access the members of any particular class, you have to create the object for the respective class. That is the importance of object. So now you know the importance of object and what is object. Object means a small memory location, right? So how to create a object? What is the syntax to follow to create a object? So at this particular time, you are going to get that point, whatever you asked previously. Class name, any user defined variable, whatever you want to take, you can. Any reference variable, it will be user defined. Reference variable is user defined. Reference variable equal to new keyword, new is the keyword, and class name, and open bracket and closed bracket. That's it. This is the syntax to follow to create a object. First is class name. For which class you want to create object, that class name you have to mention here. And any reference variable, that is totally user defined. Whatever you want to take, you can. And a new keyword is mandatory to create the object. And again class name with open bracket and closed bracket. This part is called as constructor. What is a constructor? What is the importance of constructor while creating an object? All these things will let you know very soon. Okay. This part is called as constructor. Okay. So this is the syntax to create an object. Example I am going to write here. I want to create an object for debit card check class. So debit card check, debit card check is the class name. So any reference variable I am taking BC and a new keyword and one more time class name. What is the class name? Debit card check. Debit card check constructor. This is the example to create an object. Okay, so I know the object, I know the importance of object, and I know the how to create a object. What is the syntax to follow the while creating object. So, but I want to know in depthly, what happens whenever you created the object. Object means memory, right? Small memory, right? So how memory will be allocated? For suppose I am myself was creating one object. Some other developer has created some other objects. So how all these objects will be maintained uniquely? So I want to know all this knowledge in depth. I want to know what happens internally in depthly. So for that purpose, I have done some research. We'll share you that. Okay. We'll take 1 second. One second. 1 second. I will have some water. Yes. Yeah, what I'm talking about object in-depth knowledge, right? Yes. Yeah, whenever I am creating object for debit card check here. I have given this instruction. Debit card check. DC equal to new debit card okay. This is the syntax to create object, right? So what happens internally whenever you give this instruction, like in the form of a new debit card check constructor, all these things you gave this instruction, right? What happens internally whenever you give this type of instruction? What happens, whenever JVM encounters this new keyword, what it understood, whenever it finds new keyword, it got it thought that I have to create object for this debit card check class. So it is going to know that information whenever you give this new keyword, all these things. Whenever JVM finds new keyword, it got to knows that I have to create object for this particular class. So it got some information. So what happens, whenever it finds new keyword, here JVM will be available. For suppose JVM will be available. క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను చెప్పు. క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాడని చెప్పు. Okay, this is the JVM. This is JVM. This is JVM. Okay, whenever JVM finds new keyword, what happens, you know? Okay, whenever it finds new keyword, JVM finds new keyword, it got to know some information that I have to create some object for this debit card check class. Okay, what object? What is object? Object means what? Just now I told, right? What is object?
ఎవడు ఏం చెప్పినా చెయ్యాలి, సమస్య లేదు.
Yes. Yeah, whenever JVM finds this new keyword, it got to knows that I have to create some object. What is object? Object means a small memory location, right? So heap memory will be available. Our memory will be differentiated with different parts, like, you know, primary memory, secondary memory. Like, you know, among that one type was heap memory. This is total heap memory, say available in your hard disk or something else. This is your heap memory. Heap memory. Okay, so for this entire heap memory, one manager will be available, and this entire heap memory will be under the control of one manager. Okay, for each and every department, one manager will be available, right? Like here also same, for this entire heap memory, one manager will be available in the form of heap manager. His name was heap manager. He is heap manager. He is the boss for this entire heap memory. He's the boss. His name was heap manager. This is a little bit in-depth topic. Heap manager. Heap manager. Okay. Yeah, whenever JVM finds this new keyword, it got to knows that I have to create object for this debit card check class, right? What immediately it does, you know? What immediately JVM will request heap manager, hey heap manager, I have some request, please create object for this particular class. Like that, it gives some information to heap manager. Actually, this JVM and heap manager both are best friends. Like every time these two are dependent on each and everyone. Like, you know, this JVM depends on heap manager and the heap manager depends on JVM. Every time these two are best friends. So whenever JVM finds new keyword, it immediately gives some instruction to heap manager like, hey heap manager, I have some request. I want to create object for my debit card check class. So please do that work. Like that, it gives some request to heap manager. It requests heap manager for creating object. For creating object in the sense for allocating memory. Object means a small memory location, right? So it requests some request it sent. So finally JVM sent some request to heap manager regarding object creation. So what heap manager will do, hey JVM, I'm okay with your request, I will accept your request, but I want some information while allocating memory for your object, while creating your object. I want some information. So what information I want to know the size of the memory, how much size of memory I want to allocate for your object. So that information I need. So immediately it sends one more request to JVM. This heap manager will send one more request to JVM to know the memory size while creating object. One more request. Request for knowing memory size. Otherwise, how heap manager will knows that, object means small memory location, right? How heap manager knows that I have to allocate this much memory for this object, I want to allocate this much memory for this object? How heap manager knows? Heap manager don't know how much memory size, how much size I have to allocate for this particular object. Heap manager don't know, right? So JVM has to give that information. Here the requirement to create object was JVM requirement was object creation. So it is only responsible to create, to give the memory size information. So that's why heap manager again asking JVM related to memory size. Memory size, yes. Okay, again it sends one more request to JVM. What this JVM does, here the JVM requirement is what? Knowing the memory size. So immediately it calls this constructor. This part is called as constructor. I'm going to take a separate session for this constructor, syntax to create a constructor and rules to create, rules to follow while creating a constructor. All these things will let you know very soon. Okay, what JVM will call, what JVM will do is, it calls respective constructor for knowing memory size. Calls constructor to know the memory size. To know the memory size. Okay, actually heap manager sends a request to JVM for calculating the memory size. Here again JVM forwards that request to constructor. JVM depends on constructor to calculate the memory size. Okay, so finally it calls the respective constructor. So what this constructor will do, constructor calculates all the variables, whether integer variable is available, string variable is available, whatever the variables available in this particular debit card check class, it calculates all the variables based on the variable data type. It calculates the memory size. For integer it allocates 2 bytes, for string it allocates 4 bytes, for float 4 bytes, for double 4 bytes. Based on the respective data type, this constructor calculates the memory size. Okay, so finally what this constructor is doing, it calculates the memory size and gives that calculated size information to JVM. So finally it gives memory size information. Memory size info. So finally my JVM has that memory size information. It forwards the same information to heap manager again. Here JVM is a mediator between constructor and heap manager. That's it. It's like a mediator. So again, it forwards the memory size information. So this memory size information, it forwards to heap manager. Finally, what heap manager is having, it knows how much memory I have to allocate for this debit card check class. It knows that information. So what it will do immediately, among this entire memory, it allocates some memory location. It allocates some memory location based on the memory size information getting from JVM. It got that data right. That calculated size data heap manager got right from JVM. So based on that size information, it allocates some memory size. It allocates some memory among this heap memory for this particular object. So finally, memory was allocated. Memory was allocated. Memory was allocated. Okay, this is the memory finally allocated for this object. So after allocating this memory, what this heap manager will do, I here I am creating my object. Some other developers are creating some other objects. So you have to maintain uniqueness for each and every object, right? So for that purpose, this heap manager will give some unique value for this particular memory location. It gives some unique value, any value. For suppose it is giving 1 2 3 4 5 6 some value, any unique value. It gives some unique name or value for this particular memory block. So this value is called as hash code. This value is called as hash code. Okay. So a memory block will be allocated for your object, and that was named with some unique value. That name is called that value is called as hash code value. So what this heap manager will do, this same hash code value forwards to JVM. This heap manager forwards the same heap unique value to JVM. Okay. Finally, my JVM got that unique value, that memory size value, like that memory related information. Finally, my JVM have. Okay. So in the form of a hash code value, what this JVM will do, that hash code value, it converts to hexadecimal value and forwards the same to the respective reference variable. Reference variable. So this is the reference variable, I said right at starting. So this unique hash code value forwards to JVM by heap manager. Finally, my JVM has that hash code value. It converts that hash code value to hexadecimal value. Hexadecimal in the sense it follows some algorithm rules, hexadecimal algorithm rules while doing that conversion process. That hexadecimal value is called as reference value. That reference value was allocated to this reference variable. So finally, this DC is there, right? DC reference variable. This reference variable is having this memory information. This memory was allocated, right, in the form of a separate unique value. That memory was available in this DC reference variable. So finally, this DC having your entire object related information. Like object was created, right? Object means small memory, right? That small memory unique value was available in this reference variable. So using, finally, one second, here I will write as reference value. Reference value. Ref value. Okay. Yes. So after allocating reference value to the respective reference variable, what happens, if your class is having any class level variables like int I is equal to n, string s equal to success, like that, if your class is having input data like variables data, that data was stored in this particular object, int I equal to 10. string s equal to Rajesh, or suppose whatever it may be, if your class is having any input data. So all these will be stored in this particular memory, and your method names, methods, all your methods, everything was available in this particular object. Everything will be stored here only. Okay, for suppose pin check method, everything will be stored in this particular one. So finally my object is a memory location. It is having all your class information, for which class you have created object, or like that class information was stored in this particular object, in the if your class is having any variables, that variables data, everything will be stored here. So finally if you want to call any member of that respective class, so first you have to create object, I said, right? So I have created object. So using that entire class related members were stored in this particular object. So to access that, first you have to create object or not. After creating object using reference variable, that entire object related thing was stored in this reference variable, I said just now. So using this reference variable, you are calling that particular member. That is what I have done in my previous example. Here I have some information about this debit card check. I have created an object for this debit card check, in the sense this entire information was stored in this particular debit card check object. That means here everything was stored here. So I want to call this. That's why I have created an object for debit card check, and everything was stored in this form of this reference variable. Using that reference variable, I called this member. This is what I done previously. Got it, everyone? This internal topic.
I mean, like the reference value can be anything, right? Or it should be related to the programming.
Sorry. Come again, Rajesh. One.
See, we have given a DC, right, debit card.
Yeah.
So instead of DC, we can give anything, right? Any value,
name,
like
whatever
any.
you want to give, you can.
I can give Rajesh also if I want.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, fine.
I will give Rajesh here. Rajesh dot check.
Okay, so it's like anything we can give it.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And this internal topic, whatever I gave, like relation between heap manager and JVM, what's internally happening, everything you know right now.
Yes, yeah, it's clear. That was clear.
It's a very in-depth concept. This concept you don't get from even Google itself.
Okay.
So it's executed, right? That is totally user dependent, that name.
Yeah, got it. So that's what I just want to confirm with you before
Yes.
something.
One more time I'm repeating this entire thing. I'm going to explain one more time. Whenever JVM finds new keyword, it knows some information, right? Like I have to create some object. So object means a small memory location. That's I said already. Like yes, right? So for objects, memory will be allocated at heap memory location. For this entire heap memory, one boss will be available in the form of a heap manager. He is the manager for entire heap memory. Okay. So here JVM requirement is to create object for my respective class. So what JVM will do, it forwards the same request to heap manager, like hey heap manager, I have some work with you. I want to create some object for my particular class debit card check. It gives some information to heap manager. It asks heap manager related to that. So what heap manager will do immediately, these two are very good friends. What heap manager will do, it immediately accepts that request, and immediately it gives the replies to reply to JVM, like hey JVM, I am okay with your request, I accepted your request, but to create object or to create memory for your object, I want to know the memory size. It gives again request to JVM. Send some request to JVM. What JVM will do, it takes the request from heap manager and it forwards the same request to constructor to know the memory size. It calls constructor to know the memory size. What constructor will do, it calculates the memory size by the variables available at the class level. It calculates the memory size and that information passes to JVM. So finally my JVM has that information, memory size information. It forwards the same memory size information to heap manager. heap manager knows now the memory size. So based on the memory size, it allocated some memory for that respective object at heap memory, and that for that memory a unique value was maintained in the form of hash code value. That is a unique value for each and every object, and unique value was maintained by heap manager. That is the role of heap manager actually. So that value is called as hash code value. The same hash code value was passes to JVM again. So finally my JVM has hash code value. This JVM converts that hash code value to hexadecimal value and allocates to this reference variable. Okay, that hexadecimal value called as reference value. Okay, using this reference variable, finally this reference variable is having this entire object information, memory information. So after immediately what happens, if your class is having any class level variables data, whatever it may be, everything was stored in this memory. In this memory, in the sense, in this object. So finally, if you want to call any member of your class, you can able to call using this DC. That is what happens internally. Hope everyone clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What about RK and Sandeep?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Everyone okay, right? This internal topic.
Yes, ma'am.
Like if somebody asks you how object was created in interview, if you give this type of information, they immediately ask you how much package you want. Definitely. I am sure. So like, if you mention everything in a diagrammatic format and in a real time format, people, very much satisfy with your answer. If you just if you just tell everything like, with mouth and you are not using pen or paper, people accept your answers, but they're not going to satisfy very well. But if you put everything in paper and if you're trying to give everything in a real time manner, people will satisfy more and more. That is what I'm saying. Yes. With this, my object was completed. Like how to create object, what happens internally while creating object, and what is the importance of object. All this information I gave. And in my next session, I'm going to talk about constructor. This constructor. What is the importance of constructor, friends? Here, anybody, please. What is the importance of constructor here?
It will send memory
It
size
calculates
information.
the memory size
Use
of
this
variables
inside the
and it
class.
forwards to the JVM.
Yes, it calculates memory size information and forwards to JVM, right? So how it calculates memory size and what is the importance of this constructor in real time? All these things will tell you in my next session. That is my plan. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
Naveen.
Naveen.
Happy
Yes.
reporting day.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you all. And you don't have any work, right, today? I didn't give any examples as well. Yeah, this method I gave example, right? Please try to practice that method example in different ways. Please try to take, different scenarios and different business
Okay,
logic.
Naveen.
You just implement all these things in that method example. I will forward that immediately. Okay?
Okay,
Okay,
Naveen.
Yes. See you.
great.
Bye.
Thank you.